Hello, hello. Here, let me turn down the music. How are you doing, my branded Synchro Goat Stigmata in the house?
Doing great, my brother. Thanks. Thanks for hosting.
Of course, of course.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm glad
can you
you could make
first,
it. This is a collab in the making, so of course we had you on like 6 months ago, so we had to come back and see what you've been up to cooking with branded Synchro now.
I have been talking a lot. It was just a theoretical lines through all the branded related archetypes because I think that this support has opened a branded to be played on other decks and actually put them on the ladder. So branded synchro is not the only variant that is going to be benefiting from that support. I mean, it's going to be the most, but other variants like branded Dogmatica, branded Springans, so many branded variants that could be playing, and the engine itself that makes this so powerful is the new synchro monster. Okay, the Ecclesia monster. This will allow you to play in the exact budget that you want to be playing branded in your deck. So you can play small Alpha's engine with Rimbrum and Mirage and Stigmata Dragon in your extra. And you can even extend with more extenders. You could play Grand Mill, you could play Dispian Lulu on the extra. Those are huge pluses. Each of those effects pluses onto your field and connects with other. And eventually, when you say Stigmata Dragon at the end, you know, after you have already committed to use your extra deck, you then recycle them eventually. So you could do the same play all over again. So this actually huge. So I haven't cooked yet in actual duels, but I tested a lot, and it's actually crazy. This is a new era. I've always said this, and I've felt it a long time ago.
Yeah, no, this is something that I've been it's insane kind of the potential that the cards have. Like I've been looking at the OCG, I mentioned it on today's video, but there's even like branded Sword Soul variants, right? Like that's crazy to me. Like you can actually like run like a Sword Soul deck with a branded engine that has like Mirror Jade and friends because of this card in particular. So like you said, it's just like I think Fall in the Way is like one of the highest quality cards that we've gotten in such a long time. Like because the more I think about it and test with it, it's like it's impossible to it's like it is genuinely a circular in the sense that it's very like you can't really hand trap it effectively. I think you have to double hand trap it because if you ash it in hand, then it just normal summons, and so that requires an ash and imperm to stop the Fall into the White. If you wait for it to resolve, then you're able to send things like Albion the Branded Dragon, like just or Titanclad, or even Dogma. I've seen some people send because you can get the Fall in the Virtuous, which is just like an amazing card. And it's very hard to hand trap. So I don't know. It seems like people are gonna end up hand trapping the Ecclesia, so you end up getting locked. But to me, it's like that's fine. I don't know. Like you've already been on the train where you've been running a build with branded Synchro, where like you really have to like from game to game make a hard decision if you're going to be committing onto your branded fusion or your synchro line, right? Like I think I can pull up your list here in a second and talk about that as well. We'll just kind of go back and forth, but yeah, no, I think there's so much potential. But so like do you have a build that you want to send me that you're testing with post-burst protocol as well while I pull up your other deck list, or is it on your channel possibly? You could just throw that up.
Four cards that you need. Play branded, whatever the variant that you're playing, whether you play branded Synchro, whether you play branded Despia, whatever the variant, you should be running those cards, and the rest of the cards are options.
Sure. Yeah, no, there's a lot going on with it's just kind of scary, honestly. Like I think pure branded might not end up being the best variant because there's just so much other potential. I've seen like people look at it with like Spenta and like Draco Tal with like an Albaz engine, obviously, and then we've already been seeing the Mitsurugi deck the branded deck start using Mitsurugi on some level between TCG and Master Duel to somewhat of an extent, and like this is literally just a rank 4 if you normal summon it, so it is something, or I guess you can't quite do that anymore with Mitsurugi, but that's besides the point. Yeah, no, I think like it just opens up the floodgates, and then also just like everything becoming a 1-card starter is just insane in my opinion for the deck. Wait, say that again, you broke up. I think Sigma is having some connect. Yes, like finally we have a branded engine, right? Like before the branded engine was like 30 cards.
I was saying that actually play this engine based with any minimal cards, like 3 cards and the extra 4 and the main deck is engine. Let's go. We'll come this way.
It's scary, man. You only get locked if you special summon. Like it's such a high potential card in my opinion. Like, yeah. I don't.
From the Albaz Fallen White Dragon, the restriction of level 8 Synchro or Fusion only is fair enough. You know, I mean, most of the times you will be only setting up a place, so there is no worries if you can. It actually makes other cards is live, and the Nadir Servant was the own. When I tested it, this card, if you just this one card can put up, I put thanks to the Fallen of White Dragon. So you see, if I include Fallen of White Dragon, going to be special summoning Ecclesia, you could actually special summon the Dogmatica version or the Sword Soul version. Dogmatic version is going to special, searching the Fleur de Lis for a monster negate, or it can search for the Fallen Envy version, okay? And the Titan Clad or the Albion Descent is going to be special summoning a Quam or setting a branded Stellar Trap. So this is insane. So this is a card you want to be playing in your branded deck. It's like a Papoose. It's like a sub for Verti Anaconda, because I feel like this card is not guaranteed that you should be putting in a huge potential, because when it gets banned, sometimes it will screw up your entire build, because Verti Anaconda is just broken when it's extra solution when you want to make your entire plays then end on 2 effect monsters and you go Anaconda. This effect has resolved like 90% of the time. Like, it doesn't fail. You're like, Red Anaconda is huge, and you could even secure this play and dodge some negates from this. Like, your opponent cannot Impulse, cannot Ash Blossom. If they have Effect Valor or Imperm, they can negate it, then you could dodge. It's crazy, and you want to be playing the Fallen and the Virtuous at 3 and Nadir Servant at 3.
Okay, so you're actually that. Okay, we can pin that. So you think that? Do you think Nadir Servant is a main deck? Like that should be in the main deck for branded now? Like, because of that, that fact where like it is just an insane 1-card starter. Like we showed off the combo on today's video. I'll just throw it up quickly for the people who already watched it or just want a refresher. Just in the background as we're talking, and then I'll throw up one of Stigmata's videos because I know that he was also testing with the support. But the fact is that Nadir Servant allows you to, it's insane now. Like you don't have to run Maximus, you don't have to run Bucephalus to make like the card good anymore in branded. Like Nadir is just full combo now. You go Nadir, the fact the Fallen of the White Dragon is also an end board on some level if it resolves, like, because you get the Ecclesia and a card in graveyard, is insane for the hand trap potential. It's just like all the signs of like a good modern deck in my opinion. This is why I have zero regret about calling this a tier 1 deck, because I faithfully believe this will be a tier 1 deck. We already see that in the OCG with the branded Draco Tal version, with pure branded being 1.5 tier 2, so it's on the 3 weeks in, it's already doing pretty good. So I just think this card quality is so insane. And it's like you said, I think the deck is just like so unfigured out right now. But you're thinking Nadir Servant is going to be a 3 of alongside the Fallen and the Virtuous.
I think that you could two ways to be playing this deck. Those two variants are going to be the strongest two variants, and each of them will compete with the other. And what I'm talking about is uh, Ecclesia, the Black Dragon, and Branded Fusion. I mean, those cards, when you compare them to each other, uh, each one of them is strong in a special way. You know, you know what I'm talking about. Like Branded Fusion is a full one card combo. It will make you a base set up from 3 to 5 or 6 destruction based. But the Ecclesia of Black Dragon, it fixes your hand, perfectly to set up a good setup to be played on the opponent's turn or even on your turn, and it comes back at the end phase to give you an additional major play, special summon from deck or grave for any Alba's monster, you know, and the fact that is keeps coming back at the end phase like it's a follow up or even a disruption, or if your opponent disrupt the synchro in any way, you could recycle your monsters and pin a card on the field. This is also a major effect. So I think those two ways you want to be playing branded, pure, whatever the variant that you're playing, just a two clear passes. Okay, if you want to be playing this variant, I have to shock you that you actually don't need to play Aliber at all.
Yeah, I
No,
actually think
you know what I'm
Aluber's
talking about?
I think Aluber's your worst one card
Yeah, yeah,
starter now.
yeah. It's not the worst. It's good, but I want Aluber to be special summon. If there is a clear way that I could special summon Aluber from the deck and I don't be restricted into fusions only, it would be great. But it's the only way that you summon it with opening. Opening, you're restricted right away after you activate. So there is no clear way that I would rely on Alibor and not be restricted. Like I feel like Alibor was made just for branded fusion. It's made for this line, and this line is broken in its own way. But in order to go for the purest form of branded, you have to be playing some insane powerful card like Fusion Deployment. Fusion Deployment is great, but this is an entire different playing style of branded.
I think
You know
fusion
what I'm talking about?
deployment restricts you a bit too much now. It's unfortunate because the art is amazing and everything, but it's not a one card starter, right? We didn't get a fusion that mentions a Luber. So with that being said, when you have a card in Fallen of the White and Ecclesia the Black Dragon that make most of your other card, like you can make a 40 card deck, or 40, 50 card deck that has insane amounts of non-engine to one card starter, reminiscent of like Mitsurugi, Yummy, and the best decks of the modern era, right? Like I think that's the formula for that. And no, I completely actually agree with you. And that is interesting that you aren't. I'm looking at your build right now. So you decided to cut the fusion deployment and the branded opening. Did you just find those cards to be more slow, but you're still like running the branded fusion, because if you draw it right, like you can still do a lot. You're still running the Lubellion plus Lost line, so there's a lot you can do. And plus you're
Yeah,
running the Tri Brigade Springans kit, which is in my opinion insane. Like that card's insane. Um
yeah. It's a solid one of. I'm not asking you to play this at 2 or 3. It's a solid one of, guaranteed to recycle and use all over again. So you could play it at 1, and the fact that you don't have to banish your own Springans kit from grave is great. It's a huge sin. And when you think of this support, which is, in my opinion, is just the new Ecclesia Synchro and Fallen of White, uh, you think about the fact that you don't need your normal summon. You know, you want to look at Quem when it triggers right away. You don't actually have to wait until your opponent moves a card from the extra deck. You could trigger Quem right when it gets summoned, and this is actually a huge sin with branded fusion. If you want to make a quick effect, special summon in Albaz from Grave, shock your opponent with two effects, Albion, chained up by Albaz. Those are huge effects that you could be benefiting with the Tribrigade Springans kit. You know, when you look at the art, you would feel the same energy this card have. Like, it has always been insane, even in the anime storyline.
Yeah, and no, that's I no, that's totally fair, and I think the Spriggan's kit is something that a lot of people thought maybe wouldn't be ran and branded, but I think it's just such a good send off of branded fusion, and then also the fact you can search off the Dogma the Devouring Dragon is just like really really good in my opinion, because it's just one of your best generic discards in your whole deck, and a lot of your cards discard. And I see how you're running a bunch of Bestials. Isn't it really nice that we get to run like five or six Bestials basically now, and it's pretty good in my opinion. I think like I see you're also running the Dissipator, so maybe you can talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's going to be based on this bidder. If actually this bidder is not necessary, but it's a huge extender, and you know this bidder has was always carrying branded synchro even before the support. Like branded synchro before the support was playable somehow, but it requires a lot. It requires a specific knowledge and a different play style, you know. And he was carrying the whole deck. Like he's alone is another storyline. Like built up by the new Ecclesia Synchro. This is going to be insane. Like you could put up like more than 10 bodies on your field at the same time. Like you plus a body, then you plus another two, then each body leads you into a different bosses when you could activate from grave some effects, trigger the golden sword soul, or even trigger your Quem. There is an insane combos you could do with the Tri Brigade Springans kit and Quem because it's a non-target special summon from grave, meaning that the opponent cannot predict what you're special summoning until you special summon. So when you activate the Tribal Springans kit at Chainlink 1 and then Quem with Chainlink 2, you special summon that monster that you send with the Quem right away that your opponent cannot even finger or steal because the monster does not stay in the grave when the chain ends, you know?
Yeah, that's actually insane too. That actually adds even more ceiling to Quem, which I always thought is like probably the highest ceiling card in branded. That's a monster, honestly, in the main deck. But Tri-Brigade Springans Kit being a non-target revive, in my opinion, just makes that card such an elite piece of support for the deck if it's highly searchable. And it's a light, right? So it's just like the best of both worlds. It's an acceptable branded and high spirits target. There's a lot going on. Now, I do have to ask, so like, how do you because I have been... Well, okay, so like, let me just pin you on Dissipator. You're saying this is just like, you don't think it's necessary, because like, the thing is, my only issue with Dissipator is like, you get locked in the Ecclesia line, but if the thing is though, if you normal the Albaz, you can still make Dissipator. So like, and there's a lot of lines where normal Albaz is just fine. Like, you don't need to normal summon a lot anymore in branded, which is crazy.
The problem is you don't know if the opponent attracts you on the normal summon. It's like the send, as we said, like it's inevitable to send from the extra deck as a cost. It's really great when you also could save your normal summon for Quang. And the fact that this card with the guiding Quem is a plus four bodies on the field, which is crazy because this triggers Quem to special summon the Cartesia that you send, you know, special summoning another Ecclesia to special summon another Gold Soul, which will give you a fifth and a second and a six bodies on the field, you know. Uh, you know, I feel like sometimes when you normal summon, you get hit by hand trap, your rolls are you're sent to the graveyard, so you cannot actually make huge plays. So the catch here that you could play Shrouded Dragon at 3 because it could send the Fallen of White Dragon, which could be special summoning your Albas from grave with Quem.
Oh,
You
I
would
like
want to
that,
see
actually. That's a
Brandon
good point. Holy shit. That makes Shrouded really good, actually, with Quem,
So
and you're running the triple Quem, so if you're
yeah,
going for more of the Synchro build.
yeah, and I will tell you just this one line to explain how could you make use of the Tribrigade Springans kit in your hand. Because sometimes it feels like it's stuck. You want to trigger engrave. It's useless in your hand because it requires a Tribrigade or Springans. So when you actually banish with the Bestial to make the Despair, you would want to banish Mercurial. And since Mercurial would be the only monster banished, so you summon it with Despair to make Anaconda, or extend with Bestial Rebellion, then make your Anaconda play. And Mercurial is going to be on the field at the end. You could keep it or use it as a link material, So this could help special summon the Tribrigade Springans kit. Huh? Okay.
Yeah. No, right now, actually, do you have, is it on one of your videos, or do you have, the combo? Because I have your, video up where you're playing, like, this goes back to what you were saying. You're playing, I remember you were also hyping this up a little bit, where Springans branded is playable, where you can do the Xyz variant, because we now have a rank 4 that can search a monster that, right? Like, so you tell me, if you have something that, or you want to just watch this one and kind of go over that.
You could mute the video and go on Springans video if you want to see some combos. Okay. And there is also another video where I explain more than I showed up the replays. So there is no videos, unfortunately. So I think we can go to the Springans just to show up how effective you could play through Ash and Imperm, and it will actually not matter with just 2 cards.
Yeah, so I'm right now, and you get to run the Springans field spell now, right? Which that helps you kind of. Oh, you're running the Springans brothers. Yeah, you're able to go like
to the Merrymaker.
Here, I have been seeing some Sarguses ran. Like, is Sargus just like the? Oh, you do it for with the Regulus.
Yeah, with the Regulus, of course.
Okay.
The Regulus, if you're going to materials from Iron Dash and you extra it,
Oh, but yeah, you do have the Tally-Ho. Tally-Ho just being a great card as well, which gets you the kit.
Yeah, so what I basically want to say is the Merrymaker play, your opponent would wait to use the Ash, so you would actually send to the graveyard and attach as a material, then overlay so the Imperm would not matter. And with a Tribrigade Springans kit, it's actually a free special summon for any Springans body. Like, it's a crazy extender because you start with Springans and end on actual branded boards. And the Tally-Ho, if you haven't read it's actually a great recover, especially when you're playing against an Xyz.
Oh my god, and you just and then you make the Gung-Ho, which gets to search a monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz. That's so crazy. Like, this is such a cool variant, man.
It's just Fallen of Albaz. You could search for or special summon any Springans or Therian, which is crazy. This Xyz monster is actually a second version of the Ecclesia Synchro, but it opens even more decks to be played with branded, which is even more crazy. Like, everyone will have his own ID while playing this deck. It's your own fingerprint. It's something like that, which is even defines your own style, your own character while playing this deck.
I love that, actually. That's artful.
Everyone would have a different business playing this deck.
That is such a cool cooking. Like, I don't know if you just like saw that line yourself, or even if you just found it. That is just like, I think like having that option, like having a good field spell too, and like I think like this might be like the way to run like more of a pile branded. I see you're on 60 cards with this build, so that makes a lot of sense. Like, I think this gives like a pile branded much needed consistency, I think, on some level, when you're able to bridge your Springans cards into that. I mean, how big is the Springans engine? I guess I'll have to check it out. Is there a deck list at the end of the video, or did you just have it somewhere else?
I think it's the end of the video.
Okay, great. We'll watch the rest of this combo, and you go into SP Little Knight. Like you already know, in which this is actually what I love about the new branded stuff is like you can actually like I think SP might be like a card that we can run for sure now, especially if you're running just like other like a bunch of Bestials or like a Link one.
Uh, it's just quick thought to play Link Monsters because I don't want to make you rely on Liberty Anaconda, which could be banned sometime.
Oh,
You know,
that makes
so
sense.
you could look and the Springans variant is actually based on special summoning level 4 monsters among these tuners and non-tuners. So you could actually make the new Turtle Synchro, you could make the Ecclesia, you could make rank 4 Xyz, you play the Merrymaker, you play the Gung Ho, you play the Gigantic Champion Sargus to search and disrupt the opponent or spin a card back or recycle a piece that you would want for next turn. It's crazy. And your core card in this deck that you want to be playing is the you know it's searching for your branded spell or trap, which is going to be branded in white. So branded in white, actually your greatest fusion card if you are not going for branded fusion. I'm not saying that you should play it at two, but it's not the fact that you could play branded in white at three or at two. It's the fact that you're playing Spring's Kit at three. Spring's Kit is special summon if you have an Alba's Engrave, which could be very easy to send with the Fallen of White. You could send with the Fallen and the Virtuous. So it's guaranteed that is now you could special summon the I forgot the Spring's Kit. Okay, it's now guaranteed that this card is special summonable.
Oh,
Special
yeah, that's the
summon and search
thing.
for your
You make
yeah,
it so
and
much better.
it opens up even more lines, and based on your vision, you're now going to see your branded hand and think how would you play your hand based on your worst scenario. So you would have to initiate and imagine what would happen, the worst that you fear that you have to play around to play this correctly. You would want to not be greedy because you end eventually on what you want or even more. You don't have to be greedy this time. Sometimes you get greedy with branded and you get blown out. Okay, sometimes you put your entire play to get branded fusion, then you get ash or impulse, then you have no play. Okay, or even if you have a grind with no play, it wouldn't be good enough. You know, uh, sometimes when you play branded and you know play cautious and predict what the opponent is going to be having, so you guide the duel at your own way. You don't have to wait for the opponent to surprise you with a fact that blow out your plan. You're actually going to be ending on a sequence-based disruptions to be played on the opponent's turn. There is two types of disruption in branded. This is actually a good branded philosophy because this is an entire different style even when it comes to disruption. Because there is a cards like Mirror Jade or Branded Banishment which actually works like a disruption that is ready to be fired away whenever you want. And there is other disruption that has to be gone on sequence of effects to special summon onto the field, then plus a bodies or searches, then reach your goal eventually. So there's two types, and the difference is the other type of disruption allows you to guide the turn on your opponent even more. You don't actually have to show your opponent your entire line. You don't have to show your opponent that your branded fusion is just Mirror Jade and branded banishment hit up or any branded spell or trap plus a Mercurial and expect the opponent to fail to beat your disruption because the opponent know your entire play. Especially when you play cards like Rebellion, Searing Dragon, and Springans Kit. Cards that actually requires you to minus cards from your hand. So you get what I'm trying to say because it's very complicated. Yeah,
No, I
this is
actually,
actually
no, trust me, I'm following. I just like, I want to simplify it maybe for some of the people in the chat. I'm gonna try to synthesize that because I think like I mean, you started this whole like topic with the fact that these decks are going to become basically representations of how you like to play branded with how freeform the deck is now, because you can see my build from today where I'm running 18 hand traps at 40 cards because I'm currently on the I really just think that 40 card in the TCG format with a side deck is just so very important in the new cards giving you that option. But when I'm looking at this build, when you are looking for things that you want out of a 60 card build, you want your extenders to all mesh with each other. You want the cards to be able to convert each other pretty well, and you're running it's actually so cool that you did this theory with 3 kit and 3 of the new kit, because it makes so much sense, right? Like they can just special themselves. Also they are the rank 4s that you need in order to I mean to really get into the other rank 4 access. So it's just it's a really smart way to be able to make your cards more efficient and a 60 card variant more consistent, which is always just like the issue for me with 60 cards. I love 60 cards in Master Duel because we don't have a side deck there, so I tend to think the 60 card build of branded just gives you so many options versus like restricting yourself to a 40 card build when you don't have a side deck. But this kind of build really does help you in that respect, and it gives you also what's cool is more power spells, right? You get a field spell which opens you up lines to maybe even running a a wide array of field spell package with like Rainbow Bridge or something like that, right? I think like branded has always wanted a decent field spell, and the Springans field spell helping just like put it all together with the engine, I think is definitely something to not knock at whatsoever. And I think
but this is theoretical at the moment. I mean, this deck list, you cannot depend on this deck list because there's actually going to be many changes on the future. Many cards that maybe gets banned. A card like Sanctifier, I guess, is going to be banned because people always abuse this card incorrectly to floodgate. It's like playing branded is going to be either toxic or very fun. There is nothing in between because the moment that you think of floodgate and you actually think on making the opponent not interact with you, this means that your brain has been rooted, and you would want your opponent to actually freeze. So you actually want to play the worst floodgates, and it will be your main goal every time. You know, you cannot give up on it, and it's inevitable with branded loss. You could actually make it with fusion duplication. There's so many ways you could floodgate the opponent with branded, and there is another way, which is playing branded and have fun. Play fair and make the deck unfair based on your skills. So the more you're skilled with the deck, the more you're going to gain when you make combos and make lines. Okay. So what I'm actually trying to say, when you focus on making the duel not fair, because you know how to plus with the deck and calculate every move to trigger double effects, like Swam, rely on Cartesia, Special Summon, and Fuse rely on the cards like Tribergate, Springans Kit, it special summons, then special summons from Grave, rely on cards like Golden Sword Soul to interact during the opponent's turn. Actually, these are tools helping you to have more control, and this actually make you on the opponent's turn. It feels like it's your own main phase. It feels like you have always the priority to respond whenever you want. This is an actually entire philosophy of branding. You would want to show your opponent all your disruptions, set up your entire play in a box that the opponent know exactly what is going on here, or you would want to set up a setup that is not clear what is actually the disruption, and you could let your opponent have his best shot and make some plays, and then you detect the choke point, then you fire your disruption all at once, kill the opponent once and for all. Or you could follow up whenever the opponent may. Your opponent normal summon, so you deal with that normal summon. He special summons, you special summon and pop. You could deal with a play one by one and suck the opponent until he dies. So there's two ways you could interact during the opponent's turn that guarantees you more control and more fun. And that's the unfair point when you play branded. You're going to have fun, and at the same time, you're going to be unfair at the same time. You don't have to play floodgates. You don't have to make the deck look like this, because branded is not meant to be playing like this. You know.
No, that's actually very well said, and yeah, I think that's going to probably eventually happen with Sanctifier being banned. But there's so many. I think a lot of people are just like won't learn. Like that's they'll tunnel vision so hard on the lock and won't actually learn the ins and outs of the deck, because it's just like such a like it's such a technical deck. It's actually crazy. Like all your play, like every single play matters, and like thinking 5 steps ahead is really just key with this type of build, and respects very good technical play and game knowledge. And you know, if you like that kind of dynamic, I think branded is really gonna be a great deck for you to sink your teeth in. I'm gonna read some chats since we've been missing, or I've been missing some of them, and if you guys want to ask,
that's true.
yep, if you guys want to ask Stigmata or me any questions on branded synchro and the burst protocol support, let me know. Also, we'll have to talk about the three sword souls after this, because that card's insane in my opinion. But K Sprites, do you feel like you need the Bestial Luber in your build though, or am I overthinking combos? I think you were talking about my builds, or maybe just any build with the with Bestials. Do you think because I was yeah, the Bestial Luber could be potentially ran, but like I don't think there's necessarily like a reason for me out the gate that would make me want to run the Bestial Luber.
Are going. I think it's not worth it because of the quality of life. You know, quality of life is great because you could actually get 2 albas.
I think Stickbot is lagging at the moment, so I'll let him come back in a second, but we can answer that after that. Yo, Noah Mark, we're back from 4 days after the flu. Hope you're feeling better, Noah Mark. Nothing crazy happened. We've just been nothing crazy in the game. It's not like every day where everyone was we were getting a new branded card every day though. Win Master Duel. Why Master Duel win new branded? I've done day 1 raids, less stressful than Master Duel. That's a real one, Taco Freak, if you're still here. I'm not gonna lie, that was an older message, but that's a real one. I've played day 1 raids on, and like I kind of agree with that. I mean, I think Master Duel is a good game. I just like it's the Maxi diff, man. Like Maxi is, there's just like so many games you just lose because Maxi is a card that you really wouldn't elsewise. The villain 250, I need my White Forest support. Yo, I actually low key, I don't know if you're here, Stigmata, but I do think White Forest will be White Forest brand is a lot better now. Doom Promethean, did I miss the Master Duel grind? Yeah, we're doing burst protocol testing. I just need to stop playing Master Duel for now. I think like I'm gonna do like maybe Master Duel like basically like an hour, like I'll start my streams with it, but I just like I'm not gonna play the game until they actually adjust Maxi. It's still just too much with, and like it's not gonna get better with Yummy in my opinion. It's like obviously like I respect anybody who plays Master Duel, like, or who like plays Master Duel as their primary thing. I just like when I have the access, like I have my cards, I have my TCG cards, so I just don't have a, I don't know, like I'd rather just focus on burst protocol at this point. But then also it's not like we're gonna stop playing Master Duel. Case sprites, it's not even a real restriction. You can just normal summon Fall on the White Dragon, still be Xyz free later if you had it. Well, that's the insane part, because the new Springans Xyz is so good actually. It's 2 level 4 Springans monsters. And this actually low-key Stigmata just has me thinking like we could run like 3 3 Tri-Brigade Springans kit and then just like run this as like a pseudo Verte and just like regular branded, I think be really important. Hello there. I'm feeling like Fallen the White is term aging, but makes it you more sensitive to interruptions. Not at all. Not at all. Branded Fusion
I hear you, bro.
is way more susceptible to interruptions because Branded Fusion loses the Imperm on the Luber, it loses Dash on Branded Fusion, right? Like, Fallen the White like gets you something always, like.
Well, that's true. It's like one card could stop branded fusion. It's annoying that branded fusion is always have been the pick. You know, at first they have limited to one, and then they made it semi-limited. It's worth playing as three at least because there's so many cards that could potentially stop searching for branded fusion or even stop the branded fusion itself. So branded fusion is a great card. It's the most vulnerable card in your deck. That's what people do not understand about branded fusion. But if you want to play branded and rely on extenders, it's like your pluses is not going to be through the search that you make. It's going to be through the normal summon you make with Quem, then you plus with Quem, then you plus with another body when you fusion summon, then plus with the Spirit, for example, or even plus with the Ecclesia Synchro, and you keep on plussing.
1,000 years of branded tier 0. What's up, Zay the Prophet? What was the game plan for the future of branded post burst protocol? I made a video on that today. I'd watch that. I mean, that's kind of what we've been talking about, right? Like, what would be the line under Fua? Change the summon of Ecclesia from deck? You literally just end on Ecclesia.
You know, Fua is not a great. Yeah, you end on Ecclesia or summon for 4 and the it's even more great.
Which also, Fua is why I like when I'm doing Fallen to the White to send Albion every single time. Because you play through Fua automatically. Like, you end on, like, multiple interruptions off of... So, like...
Yeah, it's like what you have said. It's inevitable to send from the extra deck as a cost every time.
Yep. Wait, this is for cost? Oh my god. Yep.
Yeah, it's for cost.
I love it. I love this game.
Yeah.
And so, I get Fua here on... Here, I'm showing them the Fua line, because if I get Fua... I just fucking overlaid Fua and Fallen to the White. So you get Fua here on Fallen to the White,
Yeah,
you send Albion, and then it's like you just summon out Ecclesia, you give them one draw, a singular draw, then you pass, or sorry, you go end phase, use Albion effect, and then set the branded in red, right? And then you... multiple interruptions, because then you wait for your opponent's turn, then you can go Ecclesia once they summon out a monster, right? And then you can go Ecclesia effect to tribute herself for Albaz, and then you can go Albaz effect to then discard a card. Oh boy, all you need is make an Albion or whatever you want to make, right? Wherever you end up making. Let's just say you make a Mirror Jade because it's a Requiem, and then oh boy, now you can go branded in red, target Fallen of Albaz, add to hand, and then make like a Borreload, a Chaos Star Source, a Lubellion, right? Wanting to make. It's just like a really, like that's a really solid Fua line under one draw too, in my opinion. So I just don't think you lose to Fua ever with this card either.
Yeah, like, I mean, when you think about this, you think about Nadir Servant. You do not special summon from the extra deck, and yet you could special summon at the opponent's turn and make up to 5 disruption. This is on the 4. You're going to give your opponent just one draw. Okay? You get the opponent one draw, you get 2 Albaz fusions engraved, you're going to be disrupt the opponent, recover your pieces with branded retribution, and make a Stigmata Dragon to further disrupt the opponent, and fuse with 2 of his bodies. This is with a single Nadir Servant on the 4. You could make other use with the Dogmatica version of, because it searches for Yugioh or the Virtuous, it searches for Dogmatica Floor 3, which is a monster negate. So you would want to be playing Dogmatica package if you want to make your deck looks like a cool box.
Yeah, it's well, that's actually why I wanted to ask you about, because you have in your list the Fleur-de-lis. Do you think Fleur-de-lis is really good in the deck now? Let me go back to your list, and maybe you can talk about Fleur-de-lis and maybe the Thunderous if you would ever maybe run more of a Dogmatica package. But like the
Yeah,
Fleur-de-lis is very cool.
yeah, and if you want to play the Dogmatica package, you would want to play the Thunderous as well. The Thunderous works very well with a trap called the Dogmatica Encounter. Dogmatica Encounter is a non-target special summon for Albaz or any Dogmatica. You could non-target special summon from grave or add to the hand. Any Dogmatica or Fallen of Albaz, which is crazy. You could set this card and activate it at the same turn with the Thunder. So you could actually use Dogmatica now to bridge into your branded play, which is also crazy. This is a huge plus. And you could special summon Ecclesia off of Grand Wignall on the opponent's turn to search for Fleur-de-Lis, the monster negate.
Yeah, it's that's the thing. The the Thunderous is just actually like such a good card on some level that I've been trying to want to find a way to run it. Because you can also run the other Dogmatica trap too, which is just like a monster revive.
But it blocks you from the extra deck for 2 turns, which is not fair in my opinion. I have played it for fun, but it's not necessary. And those cards, the Nadir Servant and all the other cards we talked about, are not necessary as well. It's just a theoretical lines that I tested to see what is going on here. Because obviously there is like a multiverse has opened when it comes to branding.
That's a good way to
Literally.
put it. It's the
So
branded multiverse now, because like we get to dip into so many different archetypes and like builds. Like you thought deck building with branded was already crazy. You've seen nothing yet.
oh my god, yeah, that's true.
Branded, what is the point of Fleur-de-Lis? Yeah, someone asked. Well, I guess it's just a good interruption. You know, it's you can search off a dogma. Very do have the
Yeah,
Ecclesia,
it's just a thought. I'm just showing you what you could.
or you can set a tune and do it all on your opponent's turn. Your options are 10 times crazier. That's the thing. Like, do you think a Tude is something that makes you want, like, with the new support? Do you think a Tude is going to be something that you're going to be considering with yours, or do you think like do you think it's just like, okay, Sprites, I've been running the Thunderous, but I think it doesn't work as well. I think it's like worth testing.
Yeah, uh, the Ethereum branded is not good because which the Albaz is the only level 4 Dragon Monster. So it's a expensive setup for one disruption. And what's actually good about it is the floodgate effect. You floodgate your opponent to banish his card to make plays. That's all. So if you are going to run it to Synchro Summon, it's not is going to be good because you have the Ecclesia Synchro which works on 2 turns. It's great. It covers everything that you would want to make your Synchro plays on your turn and just make the fusion plays on the opponent's turn. You could make turn 1 with one fusion play or without fusion play at all and make your entire fusion plays on the opponent's.
No, that's very well said, honestly. Um, yeah, I think that I know you were kind of lagging in things. Were there like was there like any was there anything you specifically wanted to cover Stigmata while you were on here
Sitting there, so we just review.
that we haven't already?
Uh, Cover about what exactly? What card?
You're asking me to give you a card to talk about?
Well, it's actually complicated. There's so many options that we could actually talk about. Like,
Oh,
pick
yeah.
any
Well, that's the thing,
variant,
right? Like you
about
can't fit everything into the into it.
any variant, and let's not a conversation. There's so many options. You just have to choose.
I know, right? Like honestly,
When I thought I should prepare something before I joined this, I thought it would be quite limited. Whatever I prepare is not going to be enough because there's so many options. You have to give it its space. So I haven't prepared for anything actually to talk about because all is going to be quickly thoughts. Just like how you play Brandy, you decide at the same time. You're not preemptively deciding. You know.
no, that's no. what I thought too, because honestly, it's like we could have done something specific, but I think just there's so much to cover. Like it's like we just got a whole new like DLC, right? Like we got the sequel to Branded essentially, like, and we have so much to actually like uncover and discuss. Like it's gonna take weeks, months, years to like really figure this all
Yeah,
out. So it's just one of those things that is going to be a work in progress.
this is
And what did you see that one combo in the Discord? I can't find it right now, but it was like a combo that was like a hand rip 4 with Dissipator and Omega. Have you tested with Omega in your build at all, since you are a Dissipator fan? Cyframe Lord Omega?
No, I haven't tested it for one reason. I'm not famous to play the Toxic Way brand. I don't actually like it. I could do it, but I don't like this. I want to, torture the opponent. That's my style. I vibe with the tool. That's the thing. I just enjoy playing Branded. I don't enjoy the game. I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh player.
I
Actually,
get that.
Branded is the thing that I love to do. Okay, I love teaching Branded. I love playing Branded. I love playing Branded and ignore everything else. You know, and there is a actually some specific music I listen while playing Branded that makes even this more flame on while I'm playing. There's actual rituals I actually make when playing Branded, which is actually insane. That you're not playing a Luber, but you have the Aluber energy to manipulate the deck and manipulate every pawn you have on the board.
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, no, it's I honestly respect it. And also you run tournaments. You run branded mirror match tournaments. Do you do that like is that like a consistent thing? Or, like do you do that like once every month, or do you kind of do that when you can kind of thing?
You know, I feel like I've done it twice. It was worth it, but I felt like it's supposed to be something even more. So when people ask for it, I just make it. So I could actually make it. There is more appealing to people to join this abomination because talking about branded or even play branded, so many damage to your brain. You know, we're going to have our hair get white very soon because of playing branded. I'm pretty sure of that.
No, that's real. That's real. That's real. The mirror matches are like I think they've got, especially with Paul and the Virtuous, like, oh my god, the mirror matches are actually like pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie, but like they're they're skill tests. They're skill tests, and also like there's just
Actually,
oh sorry.
yeah, I was saying it's good for you to get on the mirror match because when you talk about mirror match, every variant is going to be having the upper hand because of something that they have. Like if you're playing Synchro, then you're heavy on Bestials. Bestials in the mirror match mean control, straight on. So you are going to be having more control in the mirror match. Other variants is going to be having a consistent follow up. Other variants is going to be good when going second. Other variants is going to be going when going first and play through hand traps. So you could actually choose your way, or you could choose the one variant that has the most of these features that I just mentioned, which is going to be the pure branded but a synchro variant, where you just run the Ecclesia synchro and the Speeder you want. And if you want, you could run the Visbian Lulu as well. It's just optional. It's whatever you like. It's whatever you want to play the deck. It's whatever you would want to see on your board. It's whatever the way that you want to torture the opponent with.
Yeah, no, that honestly, like I want to recommend everybody to check out Stigmata's channel, because he's been honestly like one of my favorite YouTubers out there the last year. I think he deserves all the support that he can get. Like I'd love to see you cross over and just hit more milestones, because we appreciate your contribution to the community, man. Like it's like no one else was really doing anything on Brandon Synchro the last like year or two, and you've really kept that flame alive. And I think you got rewarded with a card named after you in the OCG at the very least, and then also with
Yeah,
branded
yeah.
synchro becoming the like
Support
Konami, they like your videos. Like, what else is there to say, Stigmata?
Yeah, that's actually crazy when I think about it. Is this a coincidence or is this for real that they made the exact card for me for the life? Like, how does they know that I'm going to special summon a Mercurial off of this speeder, then I'm going for Anaconda? They give me Tribergate Springans kit as a great extender to make use of this play. Plus a Stigmata Dragon, plus a new Synchro monster. That's actually insane when you think about it. Every time you think about it, you have to smile because you have to imagine. It's insane.
Yeah, no, for sure. And everyone, his channel is pinned in the top of the chat. Everyone, please give on or please give Stigmata a sub. You know, I try to post links to your videos whenever I'm watching one of them, because I just think you genuinely make some of the best content out there for branded. If you want to get better at the deck, like you make it, and it's entertaining too, which I like. Like, you keep it entertaining, great thumbnails, great commentary. I just think once again, people should check out
About the thumbnails, yeah, about the thumbnails, I'm actually sorry if the edits is not good because I don't have time to make a quality gameplay while also maintaining a good time to work on the montage and this kind of stuff. You know, so I just spend the most of the time playing and find new ideas, testing new lines, and this sort of stuff, and keep the other things to be done quickly as possible to be able to upload more consistently. You know, because I'm actually doing this as a hobby. I do it because I love it. I love to play branded. I love to discover about the deck. I'm not just tied to one variant. I love to play every variant and know their powers. So I think that my content, even it's not consistent enough, but it's more detected to discuss about branded possibilities, because branded is going to be even more complicated than the entire Yu-Gi-Oh, especially when you decide to build a branded deck, because it's not fair that someone asks you for a branded deck and you give him a specific build. It's like you have to ask him some questions first. You have to ask him 20 questions or something to define what he is able to play, what he's able to see on the board, how he wants to interact with the opponent. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so yeah, no. So I appreciate I appreciate your time, Mr. Stigmata. We'll have to get you back on, honestly, like next month, and make this a semi-regular thing. Just keep it up, because we need to keep the theory pushing here. And just keep giving updates for people, right? We still got 2 months until it drops, and even longer for Master Duel. Hopefully, it'll come sooner to Master.
Yeah, I don't think it will come to Master because they will release the Fallen Anniversary. So it will take a good time, but when it drops, it's going to be full potential. It's going to be great.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
And
bro.
that's
Thank you.
yeah, of course, of course. And once again, your channel will be linked at the top of the channel or the chat for the rest of the stream, and then also I have you featured in my featured channels section on my channel if you ever want just a direct link to his channel. So all right, Stigmata, I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for taking time out of your day for this, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good night, chat.
All right, have a good one, brother. Bye now. Yeah, shout out to Stigmata, man. He stayed up for that, so I do appreciate the king for that. We're gonna watch Guts. Branded DB Go over here, Mr. Guts. Guts, are you on a different account right now? We will watch you play, because I was just gonna play Master Duel. I'm down with playing Master Duel. I just need to, like, I was not in a good mood for Master Duel earlier, so I can actually give some patience to it. However, if Guts is just gonna run a game, I'm down with watching TCG right now.